everyone, today I've got your Fruitvale Station movie review. I had seen this movie because I heard some good things about it, and I was really interested in seeing this movie because of the cast and the overall story behind the movie. The fact that it's based off of true events really got me interested in seeing this movie. Fruitvale Station is about this guy named Oscar who apparently had run-ins with the cops when he was at Fruitvale Station, which is a train station, where he and his friends were going on New Year's Eve, and apparently it did not end well. And if you guys were familiar with the story that surrounded these events, I'd say it was pretty intense, and the way that it was played out in the movie, I thought it was really well done. The filming style I thought was really nice. The acting was absolutely superb. I really loved the main actor, Michael B. Jordan, who you've seen in a couple movies recently, one of which was Chronicle, and a whole bunch of other movies. So I definitely think he played a really good stand-up performance as the main character, and I just really felt for what he was going through in his life. And he has a girlfriend, he has a daughter, so he really had a lot to live for. It's not like he was getting into too bad things. I mean, he had his mom that had a birthday, and then all of a sudden she's very supportive of him, and his mom is played by Oscar winner Octavia Spencer. She did a really good job in this movie. I really loved her performance, and I hadn't really seen her as a motherly figure in most of the movies she's done. I was a really big fan of hers from The Help, but this movie I definitely think was a step up from that, and just really showed her range of acting. And not that she had terrible range before, but this really was the cherry on top of the cake, and this movie was just no exception. It was awesome. The intensity was building up with the storyline. It almost reminded me of Magic Mike and how that movie was edited story-wise, how it'll show little snippet in the beginning of what will happen with future events, and then all of a sudden it gets more in depth with the story, the characters, and sort of gets you into what the characters' daily lives were like. Maybe more than halfway through the movie, the intensity just starts to build up. You see the events unfold, and it just gets really crazy and intense, and I'm almost on the edge of my seat watching this. And by the end of it, I was almost in tears just thinking about this, because it just was so terrible, what had happened, and everything that Oscar went through, some of the discrimination with him and his friends, which is due to the fact that one of the cops, because there were the cops involved in the train station, and one of which is played by Kevin Durant, who, I mean, you usually see him, if you look him up, you will see him in almost every movie he's in playing a villain, or not really a villain type character, but sort of he's just not that good of a guy. And I mean, I would say that at first he was a really bad guy, and it's you can't trust this guy at all. It gets really intense, and I thought he did pretty good in this movie, and I'd say definitely the acting was just awesome, perfect in this movie. Would I say that this movie should be up for Oscar nomination? Possibly, especially with the acting, and even the soundtrack too. I was really into the soundtrack of this movie, and I know it's kind of obscure, because I mean it's not one of those things you really pick up while watching the movie, because you're more focused on everything else that's going on. So they really did a good job at masking it. Overall, this movie was pretty awesome. I would definitely see it again, and I think it is for everyone to see, because even if you weren't familiar with the story and weren't following the news surrounding what had happened at Fruitvale Station, this is just one of those things that you have to sort of educate yourself with. And I just thought it was really, like, the story was thought-provoking, and the acting really showed in that. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Fruitvale Station, what did you guys think of the acting, and who was your best stand-up performance in this movie. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Child Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and I will see you guys later.